Okay, hello everyone. Happy Friday to you all. I hope you're doing great, and it's good to be live once again with you guys. I am so looking forward to have an engaging conversation with you guys. So if you're joining in right now, we are talking about people in your life. It's a series for the month. It's a theme for the month. We're talking about people, discussing about people, and we have been having an interesting topics. Let me just add our guest speaker for tonight that we're gonna have in the last week. Hi, Christelle. Okay, so yeah, so we are going on to. Hi, Christelle. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too.
Okay, I hope my network is clear enough. It's well. I'm well connected, and that
Yes, I can
you're able to hear
hear
me.
you clearly. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you very well. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. I think I have a little issue with my the sound because I can because I can no longer hear you. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, let me let me try to find a solution to that quickly.
All right, all right. So, meanwhile, welcome our dear participants. So, we are having our guest speaker tonight. Our name is Christelle, all the way from Cote d'Ivoire, and we are talking about people. It's our series, the theme of the month, and we just learning more about the people that either in our lives or the people that we're looking to forward to create meaningful connections, and that is very important because we don't exist alone, we don't work alone, we have people in our lives, and so we have to be very intentional about the people that we allow into our lives, or people that we how can we maximize the relationships that we have. Trying to add Christelle to the chat. I hope. Okay, there you are.
Yeah,
All right, I hope you can hear me well now.
perfect. Yeah,
Oh, great, great. How are you? How is everything going?
I'm good. Had a very good week. I'm still working remotely, so trying to enjoy my time at home and
Oh,
be focused on work.
okay, great, great. So unfortunately, I can't say the same from our end, as you know, I'm based in Tanzania, and it's been quite a sad moment
Yeah.
for us as we lost our president, and also, yeah, it's been quite a sad moment for us, and
Mm.
everything that is going on. So there's been two sides. On one hand, we lost the president, but on the other hand, also it's a moment for celebration because we also had to have the first woman president, being sworn in today.
Yeah.
So it's all, sad and happy moments at the same time.
Mhm.
But, we are grateful for everything that is happening and hope that Tanzanians can be strong in this moment, and that, we can truly, truly look forward and move forward together with, all that that is ahead of
Really
us.
pray for that.
Yeah. So let me just go straight to the topic of today, and just a continuation. So thank you everyone who is
Mm.
joining in. Thank you, Rose. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that, and everyone who is joining in. I'm just reading a comment from Rose. Also sad. I'm also Tanzanian. So yeah. So Christelle introduced herself last week. If you have not watched her, the conversation we had, please go to the IGTV after this conversation. It's just a 15-minute talk, and she introduced herself, and she's doing many things, but one of them is that she is an engineer. She's a woman engineer, and also she's in Cote d'Ivoire and in General Electric. That's just briefly, but she's also doing many things around that, so in her community, in her country. And so today we are going on to talking about people. And so Christelle, I would like to, the topic of today, by the way, it's on how can someone, how do we acquire and keep the desired and the right people in our lives? Because we spoke last time, we spoke about people versus crowds. How do you really you know, do that screening. Who are the people in your life, and those who are just crowds, right? And so today we're going now deeper into, now I want to get the right people in my life. I want to really get the people that I desire to have in my life. And you touched on the 5 most important people that one needs to have from your perspective, which I thought was very important for everyone to think through and perhaps adapt that you know, the 5 people in one's life. And so today now we're getting deeper into that. So how does, first maybe you can help us understand, you know, how does first someone create the desire in themselves, like, okay, now I want to, you know, I want to have the right people. How do they get the desire and the knowledge, you know? Because sometimes maybe you have people in your life who think they're it, but maybe they're not the right people. Maybe they're not the people that you should have.
Mhm.
So how do you have the desire, the knowledge of the right people that, you know, to have in your life?
I think desiring to have the right people in life comes first of all from the fact that we are humble enough to realize that we cannot do all things alone, and that we definitely need people in our lives that will cherish us, that will help us to reach our objectives. Sorry. So at some point we need to realize that we are not alone on earth, that we need people to progress, and that we cannot live alone, basically. Then I will say, regarding the knowledge, right? We're talking about knowledge to have the right people in our lives. I will say, first of all, is pay attention to the people we have around us, and also try to assess, I would say, the quality of our lives, right? Do we always feel depressed versus are we always joyful? Do we always feel that we are lacking something, or we're always kind of sure that we have what we need and that we can get whatever is missing? Maybe I can clarify here that, first of all, it's us, right? We don't live because of other people. It's us, first of all, being fine with the way we are and what we have. But as I was mentioning, we should also remember that we need other people in our lives. So whatever is missing in our lives, let's keep in mind that other people can bring that. And that's when we fully understand that we need such categories of people and try to have those people around. That's what I can say to answer your first question.
That's very good. And what would you say about people who, like, maybe someone is just watching this and it's like, you know, I don't need people in my life. Maybe I'm okay, you know, living alone, spending time alone, and things like that. But as you said, you know, we have, everyone has some sort of void that someone else can fill in. You're not created as perfect as possible. So maybe just what would you say to that person who thinks like, I really, I'm okay to be alone? What would you say?
I will guess, well, I think it's not normal, I would say, or easy for people to be alone, right? For those who are Christians, we do remember that Adam was alone in the garden, and then the woman was brought and they had kids. So it means it's not good for a person to be alone, right? And those people who feel that they don't need anyone, I think they should look back to their past. Maybe something happened, they were abandoned by close family members, they were disappointed at friends. I mean, there was something that made them think that they don't need anyone else, because they think adding someone to their lives would make them lose time, would make them love the people, and then those people will disappoint them once again. So there is a cause. I think it's not natural to feel that we don't need any person in our life. So I would just tell those people, they don't know that they have an issue, right? They should think about their past and try to identify periods of time when they felt betrayed, they felt rejected, or all those kind of feelings, I would say, so that they actually realize that they were offended and they need to get healed from that.
I like that, and I think you have really, you know, spoke to that very well, because I think that's not something to embrace. I like that, you know, like something could be wrong, so it's worth to take time to investigate further. You know, it could be a result of something, and that's very important, right? And you know, maybe I'll just go forward to now. How do you know the right people for you, right? So you know, you could have. How would you go about that now? How would you know?
So what do you mean by know the right people? Identifying who we need at a specific time? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes. So let's
I will
say,
say,
mm,
yeah, go ahead.
so I was just saying, as you say now, maybe you could be depressed, or maybe you're not feeling well at this point, or maybe you need help in that. But now, like
Mhm,
how, yeah. So how do you? That's more like a situational case, right? But now in terms
mhm.
of like maybe in the long term or something, like you say, I want to have this kind of people in my life. So how would you go? How would you know? How would you know, like, these are the right people for me, or this is the right person for me in that context?
Okay.
Mm.
So that's for both short term and long term. So short term will be there's a specific situation and you need someone to help you navigate through that. And long term will be that you know that you will need, I mean, you definitely need friends. So you want to have good friends that will, with whom you will have a good friendship over the years. So
Mm.
I would say first of all is don't rush, right? Sometimes you want to, sometimes we feel so alone, or we want to solve issues so quickly that we rush and tell it. I mean, we discuss with people, we tell it to everyone. It's not the right attitude, I would say.
Mm.
First of all is let's pay attention, right? And see around us if, based on what we need, is there anyone who can support me at the moment? And that should come up after a clear reflection. When I think about this person, can this person help me? What are the advantages and inconveniences of me talking to that person about a specific issue?
Mm. Mm.
And then if we don't have anyone around, right, who
Mm.
cannot support, I'm talking about short term. We may have a good friend, right, or even family member that is not capable of solving the issue or help us,
Mm.
but who might know someone else. That's when relationship come into play. So think about who can help you find the right person to solve your issue, or I mean to help you,
Mm.
right? And if you don't want to go that way, it may be that you know someone from far. So this will be for very technical or practical cases. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you have a specific need related to your business, but you know that X entrepreneur can help you navigate because you heard about him or her, you heard the story, right? You should try to connect with that
Mm.
person. And those kind of people usually like people straight to the point, right? I'm contacting you
Mm.
because I know you do this and that. I need support regarding that. Can you please help? That's simple.
Mm. So thank you, Christelle. So you've spoken about either using other people to help you get certain people you want, or maybe you kind of network, right? So how do you,
Mhm.
which now links to my next question, which is also the last question because we're out of time. Like now, how do you go about now acquiring and keeping them? So maybe if you can just go through multiple ways that one, you have identified, maybe you were seeking a mentor, to have a mentor in your life, or a career, a friend in your career, arena or something. So how do you go about now acquiring those people in your life, and then a step further to actually keeping them or retaining them in your life? How would you go about that?
Okay. So acquiring will require you to reach out to people, right?
Mm.
There are people maybe they are quite close, like among your friends or people in your growth network, or there might be people that, as I said, you identified and you think those people can help you. You want to have them as mentors, for example. Just reach out, and when you reach out, be well. It's a bit tricky because sometimes we need to be clear in the beginning. Other times we need to make sure we build a relationship. So depending on the need and depending on the level of people, of the person. So if that person is, for example, like managing director of a big company, those people don't have time. So you won't spend time texting saying, hello, how are you? How was your day, right?
Mm.
It depends. So make sure you build a relationship and just reach out, right? That's first. And then second, there are people who naturally like you. and who can help. I will say, like, for example, in the company in which I work, there are people who, from whom I saw and felt that those people appreciated. And those were senior managers in that case. So making sure that I keep connected help me, I mean, keeping close to those person and continuing to receive people pieces of advice today. So there are people you will see that they like you. You will see that they support, that they like your mindset, they like the things you're doing, they like your attitude. Make sure you get close to those person. You didn't have to make any effort to have them paying attention about you, right? So you should just be natural and keep the relationship. And that's also touching the second question that you asked, how do we keep the relationship? You need to make sure that, I think we now have phones we can call anytime. So text message, phone calls once a while, paying attention to what those people do, making comments on what they do. Offering support, right, whenever you can, and really paying attention to what those people, if you want to go further in your relationships, pay attention to birthdays, pay attention to the hobbies of those people. I mean, be intentional. That's it. Be intentional to keep the relationship and make those people feel that you like them, you value them, right? That's when those people will also value you in return, and that will flow.
Okay. So thank you, Christelle. I think we are having a bit of issues with connection. I think it's from your end, but we could hear most of the content. Yeah. So I think from what I'm gathering on what you said, in terms of keeping and retaining people in our lives, it has also to do a lot with you as a person. It's not just them that you want to acquire and keep. So there's some work to do to you as a person who is really looking forward to that. And I think you've mentioned things around being intentional. You've talked about, reaching out. And those are all things that require effort. Also, you spoke about, you mentioned something around, being reliable, right? Following up and things like that. So those are quite important, I would say, traits for someone, just you as a person, to have if you want to have meaningful networks, meaningful relationships. Those could get you maybe job opportunities. Those could get you customers if you're in business. Those could get you just good relationships with people if you're reliable, if you're reaching out, if you're helpful, supportive, you say something like that, offering support. So all those things, so they all come back to your behavior, your discipline, how you're wired. And so probably, whoever that is going to watch this or follow through this will kind of, take an inventory on themselves as well before you go out to the people that you're looking forward to meet up with or to connect with in the short term and long term. Take some time on yourself. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that this relationship is going to be stronger, it's going to be meaningful? I thought I should add to that, to a very good explanation that you gave. So thank you so much, Christelle. We are out of time, but I would like to thank you so much for making time for us. And also, let's meet again next week. Same time, same place. So thank you for everyone who managed to participate. Rose, I think you have mentioned your comment, be natural. I like that. Okay, I think she was commenting to something you said. So thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, so let's meet again next week. We'll be talking about the other part, which is, it's about toxic people. How do we deal with toxic people? And so don't miss out. Tell a friend and tell a friend. So have a good time. Until then, bye bye. Thank you so much, Christelle.
Thank you. Meet you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.